Besant in that room. You have Tulsi Gabbard in that room. You, of course, have J.D. Vance in that room, naturally the President of the United States. And as John mentioned, the White House Correspondents' Dinner is where we are presently broadcasting from. Secretary Pete Hegseth is in that room. You've got Scott Bessent in that room. You have Tulsi Gabbard in that room. You, of course, have J.D. Vance in that room.
Where's it coming from? Over there. Where's it coming from? What's the crossfire? Look out!
Bro, somebody go.
Everybody stay down, stay down. We got one down. In there. Jim!
What the f? Oh my God.
Stay down, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, stay down. Where's that at? He's inside, he's not inside. Nobody comes in here.
What's going on, everybody? It's your brother Nubreed coming through with another live stream. And my DM has been full of messages ever since this alleged Trump assassination attempt at a White House Correspondents' Dinner. And everybody want to know my take on it. And so I want to say this right off the back. I'm not here to tell you what to believe, but I am here to examine why so many people are not accepting this story, this alleged assassination attempt. Nobody's accepting this at face value. Nobody in America is taking this serious at all. And there's several reasons why. And a lot of the reasons are very obvious. And what we're going to do is we're going to evaluate those reasons. I believe there's a deeper story going on. And whether this event happened or not, public trust is at an all-time low. And also, if it did happen, this points to a major security issue in America, which makes America look extremely weak. If some lone gunman was able to just walk off in the White House and open fire. So, there's a lot to this story, y'all. A lot of people are shocked at what's going on. Nothing really surprises me with these people. They stage a lot of events. And I personally believe that that's what we're looking at. And y'all know how we do it. As you enter the broadcast, make sure you hit the like button, share the video so we can make sure others are able to watch the broadcast. We are going to bring forth a lot of information regarding this situation, and we're going to unpack this in this deep dive. Y'all know how we do it. We bring nothing but the truth. Let's get to it.
They working against us. They hate our souls. They hate us. They hate our righteous indignation. They hate the exhortation that dwells in us. They hate our love for They hate our conviction. They hate the fact that we repented. They hate the fact that we're truthful, honest, and bold. souls. They hate our courage. Them devils hate us. We're not finna line ourselves up with these weirdos and freaks. With these weirdos and freaks. They working against us. They hate our souls. Weirdos and freaks. But these weirdos and freaks, they working against us. They hate our souls. Nubreed.
Ephesians 6:10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord, and in the power of his might put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith you shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation, and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God, praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints.
Welcome back, brothers and sisters. Peace and blessings to the chat. I see y'all rolling in. I see Die Media said he was a DC cop for over 25 years. And he said he's not buying this BS either. I see Plant-Based is in the building. Letitia Jordan is in the house. Alicia Lopez in the building. Tania is in the house. It's good to have y'all. She said, hey, Bree, shout out from Rochester, New York. Shout out to NYC. Lady L5 in the building. She said, distraction on top of distraction. Danica Hunter said, keep us informed. Peace and blessings. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, the media is always throwing something at us, right? I think it's a smorgasbord of nonsense. And again, what it looks like is the media perpetrating a fraud, y'all. I'm just gonna call it like I see it. Y'all know I shoot straight from the hip with this type of stuff. I have a lot of reasons. Says I'm a she. Okay, Die Media is a she. Okay, so she's been a cop. And thank you, Die Media, for your support. Okay, Underground says, shout out from Boston. Boston is in the building. We got, man, we worldwide, global. I see Scotland is in the building. Man, Slick Beats is in the house. That's what's up. I'm glad to have y'all here. We are on the afternoon shift. close to the evening shift. But, you know, there's a lot of reasons why the public is just not buying this, y'all. It's a lot of things that look suspicious. You know, when you really look at this, one of the first things I noticed is how quickly the story just aired out. And what I mean by that is they had the suspect. I mean, the whole storyline was made up in hours, like in hours, y'all. And it's too common. It's always the same type of shooter in these isolated events. You know, this has been going on for a while though, but one of the first things that stand out is how much public distrust is out there. You know, anything surrounding any controversies on the media, or especially around institutions, any media narratives, any political spins. I mean, any type of segment that jars, public questions. Everybody is skeptic. Everybody is skeptic now because you just can't trust these people. You can't trust these people. And we're gonna go into some sources. I got some exclusive footage for y'all. But I'm gonna just tell you about the shooter because I know this is always the same kind of prototype. It's always the same kind. So a little bit about the shooter. And we can make a lot of comparisons to this guy and a lot of others, but let me see. So you got the same lone gunman. This guy was actually successful. It's always the guy who's leaving cryptic messages, highly educated. They always have the same profile. It never is. It's always this same stereotype of a lone gunman. Family always allegedly reports warning signs beforehand. It's always questions about how the weapon allegedly got there, especially with such a highly secure event. Same thing with the Charlie Kirk situation and others. I mean, we're looking at the same thing over and over again. The suspect reportedly used train travel cross country instead of flying. And so based on the preliminary reports, it was an assault on a federal officer, firearm during a violent crime, possible additional or attempted assassination related in these considerations. And yeah, what are they trying to do? What's the agenda? Somebody said it reminds them of Naked Gun, the movie. That part. Yeah, it's always the same thing. Patrick said it's problem, reaction, solution. I'm going to have to agree with you. Absolutely. And they think the people are stupid. They really think we're dumb, y'all. I mean, you could just look at this stuff. It's made for TV. Look at it.
Where's it coming from? Over there. Where's it coming from? Watch the crossfire! Look out!
Bro, somebody go.
Everybody stay down, stay down. We got one down.
Jim!
What the? Oh my God.
And then I looked at the reactions of a lot of people who was at this dinner and they was calm, cool, collected, like nothing was wrong. I mean, they were all chilling. Some people didn't even move up out their seat. And that raises a red flag. Don Media, thank you for becoming a level 1 member as well as High Alert. I appreciate y'all. And the background of this shooter, he was 31 years old, from Torrance, reportedly a Caltech mechanical engineer, a graduate. Later earned a master's in computer science from California State University. I mean, he worked as a part-time teacher, a tutor. I mean, he did amateur video game development. Like what? Why would this guy do this? Why is it always these shooters who excel in academia and various trades and skills that just crash out like that? Y'all notice that? Yeah, I seen somebody laughing at the event. This looked like Tubi. This is crazy. It's just, what are they trying to tell us? Like, I really want to know, does MAGA believe this? I would like to see what grassroots MAGA really believe of all this right now. I would like to, do they think that somebody really tried to assassinate Trump? I mean, the first time there was obvious issues with that assassination. You know, they let Trump rear his head in victory off of the first attempt. They all corralled him and it looked like they put a fake blood packet on his ear. You telling me that somebody shot an AR-15 and nipped his ear? Come on, man. Like, do they really think we this stupid? I'm trying to really wrap my mind around this. Like, you know, the reports say that the weapon used was a 12-gauge Mossberg. He fit a 12-gauge Mossberg Maverick 88 shotgun in the White House and a 38 caliber handgun with multiple knives. But how, Sway? Now, I'm from Washington, D.C. I'm trying to understand how in the city that has the highest police presence, the most security, is this able to happen? It's not. Anybody who know anything about Pennsylvania Avenue, if you are driving anywhere near the White House, as a DC native, if you are driving anywhere near the White House in a stringent gun law city with a big ass shotgun, a handgun, multiple knobs, you manage to make it past Pennsylvania Avenue, past the White House gates, into the White House at a correspondent dinner and crash out. I'm not here to tell you what to believe. I'm just trying to explain to you how ideological subversion really is working on the public for the mass majority who believe this nonsense. And really, it's a distraction from all of these missing, unalive scientists. That's what really the distraction is for right now. You got all of these scientists, and then 9 more scientists just ended up messing up in China. These people are being found unalive because they are studying plasma and blood and physics and anti-gravity and all these things that equate to our ascension. And now all of a sudden they want to distract us from all of these dead scientists, as if being a scientist is the most dangerous job in the world now. Scientists are getting wiped out like drill rappers right now. And they're trying to slowly push that out of the airwaves. Yo, we got more footage of this event. That's what we're going to call it. All right. know, the camera's always in the right place. Lights, camera, action, right? And then, you know, the motive is always under investigation. The motive always is the same with these shooters. Y'all think about it, it's always somebody who left some manifesto. It's always somebody who put some damn cryptic message on social media. It's always some writings allegedly sent to somebody close by, a family member, right before the attack. They just go tell somebody to give the whole damn story of what they're about to do. It makes no damn sense, y'all. It's the same story over and over. Some sources like Jerusalem Post, they actually referred to him as friendly federal assassin. Now, what the hell is that? The Jerusalem Post referred to the shooter as friendly federal assassin, quote unquote. That sounds like an inside job. What the hell is friendly federal assassin? That sounds like a plant that you use to sway media opinions and narratives while causing distractions, while manipulating the general population. That's what it sounds like to me. And the last name that the shooter had was Allen. You know, that is linked to Jewish people. That last name, not saying that melanated people can't have that last name. I believe the gentleman was mixed with something, perhaps black and white. But that last name is Jewish. Jewish. So it's ironic that the Jerusalem Post called him a friendly assassin, friendly federal assassin. It's right there in Jerusalem Post. So they're saying that his dad was black. Of course, if his mom was white, those people in their belief system believe that the bloodline comes through the female. So that's what they believe. So yeah, that would explain a lot.
So first of all, not only is it weird that it's a black guy doing the shooting, here he is wearing an IDF t-shirt. It says, break-in, Cole Allen, White House Correspondents' Dinner shooter, pictured in verified photo wearing IDF shirt. Look at him. He looks like a black mom biracial.
So he's wearing an IDF shirt. Now, we're going to say allegedly, maybe it's AI. We don't know. But hey, they saying he wearing an IDF shirt. I mean, are they just blatantly telling us they playing with us? I mean, Fox News, you know, they reported that they believe he may have been targeting the Trump administration officials. I mean, but he wasn't in, I don't believe he was in the dinner. He didn't make it that far. They're trying to say he attacked a couple federal agents or whatever the case is. Some reports, such as the Washington Examiner, says they mentioned anti-Trump and anti-Christian content under review, and that's still being assessed. You know, they're trying to frame it as if Christian nationalism is under attack, when, you know, those who are truly in the Bible, those who are truly in the truth, we just see the hypocrisy of Christian nationalists. But they're trying to make it seem like there's some type of battle against Christianity. These people are not Christians. These people are Baal worshiping, child eating maniacs, fixated on world domination and built everything they did off of conquest and greed. These are not Christians. IDF is what? The Israel Defense something. I can't remember what it is. I think it's like Israeli Defense. I don't remember. IDF. Somebody put that in the chat for me. Go ahead and look that up for me.
Mm-hmm. Because we know they're the shooters. So what is a black man in an IDF shirt doing shooting up the White House Correspondents' Dinner? More questions. So first of all, not only is it weird that it's a black guy doing the shooting, here he is wearing an IDF t-shirt. It says, break-in, Cole Allen, White House Correspondents' Dinner shooter, pictured in verified photo wearing IDF shirt.
Israel Defense Forces. Thank y'all. Thank you, Kim. I appreciate it. Yeah, Elizabeth, thank y'all. Maria, thank y'all. The Israel Defense Forces. He wore an IDF shirt. And you already see what Jerusalem posted. So, I mean, it's like they're telling you. I mean, these people believe in karmatic debt. They have to tell you exactly what they're doing. If people don't have deductive reasoning skills, if people don't have common sense, that's on them. You know, but one thing about it, a lot of people don't believe this was real. Some of the things that a lot of people that I've came across that find strange and unusual, as well as myself, I find a lot of it to be the same. There's no proof of anything. There's absolutely no proof that any of this happened. None. And how did he get in there with those weapons? And why, if he just randomly pulled these weapons out and got to shooting, why is there no confirmed casualties? That makes no sense. Also, the profile is too stereotypical. A highly educated person, it just doesn't fits. It always fits the same profile. I mean, the lone gunman profile. Also, reports of the family allegedly warning police beforehand. That we've heard that too many times. This is screaming PSYOP. It's got PSYOP written all over it. What say y'all? Are we tripping, or the media is just getting messy with this? A lot of people are questioning about how weapons allegedly got near such a high security event, such as a White House correspondent dinner. For me, that's the main thing. I'm like, no, ain't no way. Thank you. I appreciate that. Taxleen says it's totally fake. You are the only one that can make me watch this topic. I love your commentary. Thank you. I appreciate you. Tania says I have to laugh. You gotta laugh about this. Because when you can see, when the Most High give you the Holy Spirit, they cannot pull the wool over our eyes. There's nothing they can hide from us. We are way too intuitive for this. Look at this. There you go. This is the shooter. Cole Allen, seen here on Instagram posts, of course, wearing an IDF sweatshirt before his whole profile was removed. Crazy stuff here. I sense a false flag.
I just want to go find you.
Oh, you gotta have Erica Kirk crying, boy. If Erica Kirk is not on the scene, blowing snot bubbles out her mouth, inhaling tear gas, crying her makeup up, you don't have a good event without Erica Kirk. Oh, you gotta have Erica Kirk sniffling, snorting, and crying, and spitting, and crying, and lying, and gotta have Erica Kirk, y'all. No, what kind of staged event don't have Erica Kirk crying? Since her husband allegedly got blown off the map, allegedly, or he may have went into a trap door. We don't know. Somebody called Drewski. You got to rush Erica Kirk out there. You got to.
I just want to go find.
She said, right on time, I just want to go home. They corral Erica Kirk. America's sweetheart, I just want to go home. That's the perfect caption. Camera's just there. I just want to go home. She didn't even do that when Charlie got popped. Boy, I can't with these people. MAGA looking crazy. These Christian nationalists looking crazy. This is a bit much, y'all. And this is why trust has eroded in America. The story just came too damn fast. You know, some people say that the official narrative seemed too well put together and unusually quickly put together. You got the suspect identified. You got the motives. You got the theories. Everything's already circulating. They targeted officials. That language is already in headlines. So you can skepticize whether or not it was an assassination. They already planted that seed. For me, the speed of how the story developed raises questions. So I ask y'all, are we getting facts or are we getting a built-up narrative? If you're looking at this from a legitimate standpoint, are we getting facts or is it a built-up narrative? Bible says ain't nothing done in the dark that won't be revealed to the light.
Cole Allen. That is the name of the shooter from the White House Correspondents' Dinner. The president already did a briefing and said they don't have much information and soon they will release all they know about him. But the internet is already going crazy over who this man is, especially this one. 3 years ago almost, there was this Twitter account and all they posted was Cole Allen. To top it all off, the name, Henry Martinez. This was a researcher at NASA. And why is that interesting? Because apparently, beyond being a teacher, Cole Allen also interned at NASA. So a lot of people are going to bring up if this has to do with the war. They might bring up all the scientists dying, but yeah, this one's crazy. Cole Allen. That is the name of the shooter from the White.
It's all connected, man. They're trying to cover up the fact that we got all these unalive scientists out of nowhere. So they had to build this narrative. Yeah, like they really are coming with so many distractions, you know? And when you look at this, the security breach of the White House is the main culprit of people's suspicion, man. You know, how does somebody even get that close? I mean, it doesn't even tell you how he got in there. And then the whole suspect narrative is just completely unusual. I mean, you got his educated background, warning the family, the manifesto. It just feels like a script. And we've seen it too many times before. Matter of fact, I can name some names. I can name some names, y'all, of people that have this same script. And let me see, we're going to do that. But let's continue. First and foremost, Cole Thomas Allen, the White House shooting suspect shown in a family photo. And, you know, it looks like to be a normal, educated person living their life. Yeah, 2 guns and knives and all of that. I mean, It's starting to look like a hoax, people. And if, you know, and I ask myself, hear me out, y'all. I just be thinking sometimes, are we getting to the point that they're purposely creating distrust between the people and the government? And if so, for what reason? This is the reason, this is the way my mind operates, y'all. Are they doing this to purposely create distrust because it's not well put together? And could the reason be to create some type of social uprising, some type of revolt? I believe that they're incrementally creating distrust because they want a civil war in America. So they can bring in the military, so they can bring in martial law, something. And I'm going deep with it because there has to be an agenda behind these stories. Are they trying to start the Hunger Games, like Slick Beach just said in the chat? Because while all this is happening, you got Trump reclassifying drugs, pushing psychedelics on the military veterans. And you know, on the brink of a civil war, that would be our first line of defense. Those would be the individuals who can put together an armed militia. So it's like they're trying to drug them out, get them zooted out of their mind through psychedelics. Meanwhile, the rest of the public, they're just hitting us with bogus stories. It's like they're trying to spearhead some type of social cataclysm. And they want, that's right, they want Squid Games USA out here. Like, what are they doing? Yeah, it's almost like they want people drugged up and violent. It's crazy. It is crazy. So also, I want y'all to consider something, right? Because this is all too familiar. Because timing matters in all of this. And what we're looking at is a broad collapse in institutional trust, man. It's very broad. That's the main thing that stands out to me. Now, I want to list some of these other shooters that we've had within the last, let's say 5 years. Let me see if I could pull this list up. I had a list, but I don't see it right now. Y'all give me a moment. Because it's the same thing over and over again. Hold on. All right, so we can compare this story to the assassination of John F. Kennedy. We could compare this to Ronald Reagan, the Oklahoma City bombing, Columbine High School, Sandy Hook's elementary school. You know, it's the same thing, the manifest. And I'm going to tell you the similarities. Lee Harvey Oswald, John Hinckley Jr., Timothy McVeigh, Eric Harris, Dylan Cabal, Adam Lanza, they all had manifestos or writings. They were all loners, socially isolated framing, same thing. They all, highly specified their grievances. There was always warning signs reported. The fast motive and narrative always came, and the lone actor always came, no matter what. It's the same story over and over. Yeah. Somebody says, then draft and then civil war or civil unrest. Absolutely. And make no mistake about it, Donald Trump is no JFK. He is no threat to the establishment. He may be enduring a lot of bribery and blackmailing, because they say Epstein was a Mossad agent. This is what they say. And that they just been blackmailing Trump and keeping him as a damn puppet, but he's no real threat. They say that they got everything, that those who people got everything on Trump. That's what they saying, based on what's in them files. Trump is no threat. He's trying to prop himself as some type of threat to the establishment. He's not. Look, all of that talk about draining the swamp and all of that, he didn't come through with his word at all. He sure didn't. Somebody said they're all agents of Satan, don't matter. More orchestrated madness. I'm going to have to agree. I'm going to have to definitely agree. Somebody said it makes their blood boil. Yeah, absolutely, man. These staged events, there's something else, y'all. There's something else. But, I don't want to be too long-winded about this topic. I wanted to, inform y'all, because a lot of people asked me what was going on. And I wanted to share my thoughts. I wanted to share my thoughts with you all. And there you have it. It's always an honor and a blessing building with y'all. We don't have to be long and drawn out this evening. I think I'm going to go out here and go see that Michael Jackson movie, y'all. I think that's what I'm going to do. I hear a lot of talk about it. I could use a good biopic film. Go to the movies and see what that thing talking about. And I probably, if something else develops in the news, perhaps I can come back later if you all would like, and we can chop it up about something else, because there's still a lot of news going on. I'm really intrigued about these missing scientists and what they were studying. Also, man, I can't wait till that Street Fighter movie come out. Man, that Street Fighter, John, I'm glad to see 50 Cent playing something other than 50 Cent. You know what I mean? So I want to see what that John is. All my millennials, all my Gen Zs, we going to be lined up to see Street Fighter. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, if y'all want me to tell y'all how the movie is, I can do that too. I do my little movie reviews. So I might chop it up and tell y'all what I think about it. Michael Jackson, y'all, there's a lot of things a lot of people don't know. He was kind of pushing back on a lot of things. And I wonder if they're going to make mention of that in the film, like how he was going against Interscope and Mottola, and how, he was going against the so-called, powers that be, hiding a lot of, protecting a lot of children and things of that nature, from the island. That's what they say. He was protecting children from the island. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. But anyway, yeah, man, I'll be back later on to chop it up with y'all, man. One love to y'all. Hey, it's good to build among the like-minded. A lot of y'all ain't believing the BS. Bless your eyes that you can see and your ears that you can hear. Of course, I'll be back later to touch bases with y'all. Y'all be blessed out here. Shalom and peace.